fruits. However, the reports and statistics that we're getting now, as a result of manufacturers closing shop. Yes, you heard me right. And I think there was a statistics from one of the ministries, or is it department or agency now? I can't remember. I'm waiting to get my phone. Once I get my phone, I'll look at where I jotted it down. But yeah, the stats told us that manufacturers ran at a loss in the last 1 year. Now, from June 2023 to June 2024. And of course, the primary reason, most likely, it would be some of the policies in motion by the federal government. And then I'm wondering, all of these policies, all of these sacrifices, all of these news that we're getting to hear, how would you rate the Nigerian economy? How would you say the Nigerian economy is in terms of percentile? I'd like to hear what percentage you will give to the Nigerian economy as it relates to you. And I would need you to be honest in every sense, right? Calculate how much you make in a day for those of you who are working. Calculate, what you would have used before, to get by, and what it will cost you right now to get by. These are some of the things. How is inflation? Because inflation has really affected a lot of businesses, affected a lot of, a lot of investors and all of that. I mean, Dangote is crying. A lot of other people are crying, and it's a somewhat crazy situation in Nigeria. However, I sometimes wonder if the subnationals, the governors, play good enough role in terms of helping the economy soar. But we'll talk about that when I do open the phone line. My second big story has got to do with labor, right? So labor is talking again, after coming to an agreement that 70,000 naira should be the minimum wage, and Nigerians have criticized, some have clapped. However, Labour is now telling the federal government, see, that protest is likely going to happen. Nigerians are very much angry at the policies of government. Nigerians are suffering. They can get by. They are very hungry. That's I lined up these conversations, in this way, so we can talk about the economy, then go to what Labour has said. And Labour is telling the Nigerian government, the president to be precise, President Tinubu, to have some negotiations with the people, call the citizens, the leaders of the protests, and sit them down and give them a blueprint of what he's trying to achieve, so that they can have an idea and both sides can make concessions and everybody goes home happy. So he's saying Nigerians are suffering. That's the NLC chairperson, that's Joe Ajero. He's saying Nigerians are going through a tough time. Nigerians are going through a difficult time, and it's only fair that the president can come out and talk to Nigerians. And my question to you is, do you think at this point Nigerians should negotiate with the president? And if yes, what should they demand for? Or do you think it is time for talking to stop? It's time for all the pleas to end, and it's time for us to see actions taken that will ameliorate the current sufferings of Nigerians? I really would love to hear from you as it relates to that. Now, my third big story has got to do with I don't know if you follow Nigerian Info on social media. If you do not, I would advise you to, because this story, you can only appreciate the conversation if you've seen the pictures. So yesterday, I was with Martha Okere in Kem. She had just come back from an investigative report. She went to the River State College of Health, Science and Technology in Orowo, Rumeme, Port Harcourt. And the pictures she came back with, my goodness, I was eating at the time, and I almost regurgitated. I'm not joking. The mattresses were an eyesore. There were bed bugs. If you go on our Facebook page, you can see the bed bugs on the mattresses there. The Oh my goodness, I'm looking at it and my goodness. Mattresses, poor condition. The hostel living standard, poor condition. And something struck me. I'll tell you what struck me after this commercial, because there is a commercial. When I did come back from the commercial, I'll tell you what struck me, and you and I will talk eventually. Just stay tuned.
The show continues.
Past 3 p.m. You're listening to 92.3 Nigerian Film. I am Kala Dakurubataba. My pleasure having you on the other side of the radio as we push the conversation for development. Welcome. I cannot overemphasize the welcome. Okay, so I was just telling you what the big stories are for today. We didn't really have strong political stories making headlines today. What we had on various newspaper pages or front pages or even on blogs, news blogs, was basically the economic sector being talked about. And I told you that manufacturing companies in Nigeria lost 1.7 trillion naira in 1 year. And this is coming from the Federal Inland Revenue Service chairman, right? And then I told you as a result of manufacturing companies closing shop, about 30,000 people have also lost jobs. So how are you judging the current state of the economy? I think it's time to hear what you are seeing, or what your economic reality is like. And then we went ahead to talk about NLC, telling Mr. President Nigerians are angry. Not Nigerians, they vex. And he said dialogue with the leaders of the protests. And I wonder, everybody seemingly at the political, I wouldn't say everybody, but most people at the how do I put it now, the top echelon of society are very much concerned about this protest, right? And NLC has come out to say, hey, Nigerians are angry. I mean, maybe I should just read a bit of what Joe Adero did say before I go back to what I was talking about before the break. He said, and I quote, "The truth is that millions of Nigerians are angry about the state of the national economy, a situation where most Nigerian families are forced to eat one miserable meal a day, and eating from the dustbin is now seen as luxury, beckons for serious intervention by government." Let's see, what else did he say? "It is therefore condescending and dismissive to describe the daily brutish ordeal that Nigerians are going through as a political descent. During these very difficult times, the right of Nigerians to complain must be fully respected." He goes on to say, "The truth is that you cannot smack a child and at the same time ask the child not to cry. A stitch in time might still save nine. All right, let's get your thoughts on this, on that one as well. But my final big story has got to do with the River State College of Health, Science and Technology, and the deplorable state that school finds itself in. It's not, and the truth is, it's not just the River State's College of Health that is in such a situation. If you travel round River State, you will see more schools with dilapidated structures, and I'm not here to blame. I mean, I'm going to just listen to my voice of reason. I'm not here to come rant about it or criticize anybody, but I'm here to show you that this is a reflection of where our mind is, where our mind is as a state. What do I mean? We've had successive governments, and each of this government has prided itself in infrastructural capabilities. During Orderly's time, Orderly won Golden Governor, right? During Amechi's time, it was one of the best thing after sliced bread. Oh, we get, what's it again? Mr. Project. And now we've got Governor Siminalayi Fubara, and everybody's is great, is wonderful, and all of that. But yet, while we argue who's the best politician or who's the worst politician, or we talk politics every now and then, or basically not our fault, the political actors display, and so we've got to talk about it, right? While we do all of these things, we are having dilapidated structures worsen and even become more deplorable and too bad. For instance, go to the female hostel of that school that we are focusing on, and see, I was there. She was trying to call certain ministries. I won't call the ministry, let it not be like I'm tackling government, but she called two ministries and they denied having any sort of control over. I mean, she did it in my front. I mean, she made the calls in my front. I was there. And they said, oh, no, it's not our responsibility, it's not our jurisdiction. And called the next, and I said, oh, no, it's that other ministry's jurisdiction. And there was the back and the forth. And so, this is some sort of a call to say, hey, all parties, irrespective of what divide you belong, it's time for you to shit your swords. Let's all sit down. There are so many deplorable things happening, or deplorable states in River State. What do I mean? Health facilities, for instance. So many schools in deplorable forms, and yet we're building new ones. So many roads in deplorable conditions. We need to sit down and have this conversation and let everybody, whether PDP, APC, Labour Party, VK, SEAM, whatever it is, let it all pipe low for now while we fix. I mean, look at it. We're fighting, yet our schools are in such bad conditions. Once again, go on Facebook, Nigerian for PH, and look at the pictures. Terrible pictures. I don't even think they posted all the pictures and the videos. I mean, that means if you see what I saw, I don't know if you'll be able to have lunch today. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but I'm going to go to the phone lines now, and let's get your thoughts and let's talk for development. 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003, 0817 923 0007. What is on your mind? Let's get talking. Remember, we've got the WhatsApp channel where you can send in your messages, 0809 0306416, and that is the WhatsApp number. Send me your messages. On Facebook, we're live Nigerian for PH. YouTube, we're live Nigerian for PH, and on X, Nigerian for PH. I guess the reason why they did not post all of the videos and all of the pictures possibly is because it's an eyesore, and some of you know what they say, viewers discretion, right? So maybe just to save you all of that. So sad. Anyways, and once again, we're not here to blame, and let's not politicize this, please. It's not another avenue for you to play politics and point accusing fingers and blame this person. I want solutions. Really, I want solutions. And I probably would not entertain anybody who calls in to say, hey, is this person's fault? No, I'm not going to do that, right? After all, that school has been there. Several governments have come and gone. Anyways, 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, and 0817-923-0007. Let's start with Facebook while I'm waiting for the call screener to screen your calls. All right, on Facebook, EM as Enoch says, good afternoon, Kalada. This government has failed us. You see, up till now, we buy fuel at high price. I don't think the president will listen to NLC. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw that report where marketers are saying subsidy gulps about 700 billion. Is it billion or million now? 700 million naira every month. It's in billion or million now. I need to go back to that stats. But this one says, Wayawu Indudirim. Kalada, good afternoon. I don't believe that this government will help anybody, especially the federal government. Emmanuel P. Pobia or Poiba says the protest has no leader. Nigerians are hungry and angry. Okay, that's Facebook for you. Let's now go to the phone lines and see. I've got Emeka from Owerri. Emeka, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Canada, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Emeka.
Canada, I just wonder who is still happy with this government.
You wonder who is still...
I wonder who is still happy in Nigeria.
Oh, okay.
With this government.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking on Nigeria Road Certificate. I listened to Daily Momodu yesterday on channel. See, let me tell you, what I don't understand about the NLC is when you say that wrong with the leaders of the local protest that is doing. I just want to explain the what event that is wrong. Because the last time I checked, you couldn't see the leader that are planning to say. And the majority of over 180 million Nigerians that want to taxes. So I just want to explain that. Let me not be the kind of dialogue he has with the government, over 70,000 naira. What is that for it? Minimum wage. I hope that is not the kind of dialogue we're talking about. The only dialogue that we take place now, let the government of the district government pass most of its policies, instead of the issue of fuel. Let them revise for most of the policies that are changing and so that people into motion every day in government.
Emeka, your call isn't very clear, so I would have to step it down. I've got Ida from Inkoro. Ida, welcome. What is on your mind? Yeah, what is on your mind?
I want to talk about the lawmakers asking police to go and take
that's not my big story. That's not my big story. That I'm sorry.
Okay.
I would have to let you go as well. I'm taking this one 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, my name is Jude Ubani. I'm calling from Muma.
All right, Jude, quickly, let's get your thoughts and let's talk for development.
Yeah, Canada. I'd like to talk on the deplorable state of structures in River State.
River State College of Health.
You said we should talk about the solution and don't blame anyone.
Yeah.
But for me, I think it's difficult to talk about solutions without finding what the problem is.
Oh, we already no, Jude. We already know the problem: deplorable condition of structures, schools, health facilities. We already know.
What caused the
we know. See, we know what the problem is. The conversation now is, what is the way forward? I mean, we know what it is. Why dwell on what caused it?
Canada, you put us in a fix because the deplorable state of things. They were not deplorable. The state in which they are now was not the state they were when they were built.
Okay.
So if we can go back to the state they were when they were really built or constructed, then we can now look for the solution. All I can say, let me leave you, all I can say is, when these structures were built, they were in very perfect condition. But successive administration came in and didn't do a fix. Even when you had a house, if you don't fix the repairs or do repairs, it will get bad.
Okay.
So the past 8 years, they didn't fix those bad states or conditions.
So
and that's why they are deplorable now.
So you're saying
I
your solution...
believe that the present administration should look into
maintenance.
those structures and fix them, and they can be in good condition.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You see, you've just given me a solution, and that is let's imbibe maintenance culture. It's as simple as that. Miriam from Okrika, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear.
Hi, KDB, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Thank you. Let me talk about the state of the economy.
Mm.
We know that government policies and politics affect manufacturing. But the president, spokesperson, and even the National Assembly, they keep telling us that the president is ruling out wonderful policies. That the policies are so wonderful that in fact, if we hear it, it's mind-boggling. But yet, KDB, we're not going to set up those policies. We don't know if it takes up to 3-4 years before we start seeing the effect or the policies start coming to feature. But I don't just get it. And but for this state, we can see that the governor is taking steps to encourage manufacturers and investors. He has decided to cut down and tackle taxation and the like. So he's taking moves. But on the flip side, I would want to say that those manufacturers that are still here, they cannot tell us that they are running at a loss, honestly. I have seen some of their products. We are all seeing it. They've reduced the size and yet they've increased the prices. They are running. And yet they are enjoying the ride and they are telling us that they are running at a loss. Maybe they are just looking for tax relief, honestly. But the ones that are functioning now, they can tell me that. But for the mattresses in the system, that's just the tip of the iceberg, the mattresses. I don't know if your correspondents, they proceeded to the convenience,
Yeah, they did. The pictures, I don't think it's something we want to display on social media.
Oh, my God.
Very deplorable.
I know that, the camera cannot capture the strength that content is there, just to the pictures. Look, KDB, you cannot even go close to it. In fact, if there's a pattern that leads to that convenience, before you get to half of the package, the stench takes you away. And unfortunately, there are even rooms that are very close to this convenience. Look, government schools, the rate of dilapidation is mind-boggling. It's as if they need to start all over again. It's so funny. Instead of us that went to government school, I am talking from experience. And now it has become worse more compared to what we experienced. Thank you, KDB.
All right, thank you very much. I seem to be having issues with the phone line. I would need a bit of time to get the engineers involved. But let's quickly look at what we have as WhatsApp messages. Greetings, Canada. The NLC's position on hunger and coming protests is in order. However, there is nothing to negotiate about. The only solution is for government to improve living standards. Nicholas Erasmus with that one. This one says, good afternoon, Canada. Martin Ambiole is Westernist time. Is it? Okay, this is not my conversation now. I'm moving on. This one says, good afternoon, Sukari Alex. Yeah, they are crude oil is being taken. Then simply revert to the price of fuel to 168 naira per liter, and we will be fine. Talking of the economic reality as it relates to me, I will rate it 0.00 over 100. Do you know that I had to spend 600 naira to and fro just from Alakaya Junction to Choba? Isn't that crazy? Mr. Ajero should rest. Shebi has negotiated 70,000 naira with the federal government. After all the noise, he should maintain his lane as NLC president and not speak for Nigerians. Simply goodness from Alakaya. And I pity the students in our state institutions because the structural engineers we have in our government house are not willing to look into any other thing or sector until they finish building their political structure. Uzama. This one says, good afternoon, Mr. Canada. Those of us who attended public schools at all levels can explain better. There is no need for investment in our public schools. The state government should set up a sincere team to monitor, maintain, and upgrade infrastructure. Moses B. Bina. Moses, thank you very much for that one. But I mean, you really need to see the pictures that emanated. I'm not I'm not exaggerating. I mean, Muriel just took my mind there. I think I had done selective remembrance, and Muriel just took me way back to what it was. My goodness, terrible. The mattresses, huh? Maybe you know how you've used the mattress for many years, and then it is flattened, right? And it's the color is something else. I don't know if it's dirt. I don't know what it was, but the color is something else. And then bed bugs are therein, and the toilets are crazy. The whole way crazy. Anyways, moving on. For the protest, forget that one. Is it for the protest? Forget that one. Nobody will protest anything. For the River State College of Education, laugh aloud. The money politicians use to hire SANs to take on political cases in court can fix 20 schools in the state. It is only in this state individual and private citizens waste money to go to court to join in the lawsuit against politicians. You can never see them donate to a school in their community. After 8 years, they will blame Lagos and Tinubu for the manufacturers leaving Nigeria, as they are leaving. Our pastors have replaced them by making soap that will end suffering and creams that can bleach away your sins. Oh, Black Africa, which way? Ernest from Woji. This one says, if you don't allow the blame on those saddled with the responsibilities of taking care of our structures, no matter the solution being preferred, it will still end up with those same people. Damien Terrakosima. But you see, Damien, you would agree with me that a lot of people listening right now are either pro-Sim or pro-Wike. I don't want to do that with this conversation. So yeah, let's stay with solutions, please. This one says, on the deplorable state of the School of Health, I think the school management should have the responsibility of managing and maintaining the school assets without going to the ministry. They should make overhead or impress available to them. They have a rector or a director in charge. Bedbug isn't a big deal to eradicate, just fumigation. But the lagging in responsibility becomes the issue. The Commissioner of Health immediately directs. I don't get that point. Okay, should direct someone? Is that what you're saying? Well, I mean, for Ernest from Port Harcourt. I mean, I agree with you, but it's not just the bed bugs. It's not just. I mean, you need to see. Maybe you're right. Maybe the school management has failed in its responsibility as to maintaining that structure. Maybe you do have a point. But let's look at this one. Good afternoon, Canada. For me, the students of that school have up to 50% blame. While in school, I and my roommates painted our room and bought some other things to make it fine. How were the students feeling in such environment? They should take care of their immediate environment. Odumegu Sani Didia from Omerelu. Now, that's another angle to the conversation. Well, let's look at this one. It says, good day, Mr. K. Batibo. The deplorable state of River State School of Health and some primary and secondary schools is nothing to write home about. Let the authorities concerned quickly do something positive about it before it gets out of hand. I want to take Clinton West with that one. Now, this one says, Kalada, come to Mandela hostel blocks in Uniport and see the kind of films they issue to students. You will cry for this country. Are we talking of the confidence? Oh my God. So I'm guessing it's everywhere then. It's a Nigerian thing. Can I say that? But this one says, good afternoon, Kalada. The message is clear. Nigerians are not asking for too much. Asking Nigerians to be patient is even more annoying after 1 year of this administration. The level of poverty has gotten to its peak. Let the government reverse fuel price, electricity tariff, open the borders, and every other thing will take shape. Nigerians are hungry. Dafe is texting. All right, Dafe, thank you. Nigeria is a country. Okay, I don't know if I want to use that adjective you use. Can I? Okay, fine. Nigeria is a dying country, you said. I think the people at the helm of affairs should resign because they don't have what it takes to save Nigeria. As for the bed bugs in the School of Health, I think I'll blame the school authority and the management of the school. They're filled. It is either they sit up or they are sacked. School of Health, for that matter. I can't just believe this. From Hector. Now, once again, I'm not very much particular about the bed bugs. And I'll tell you a quick story. Sometime last year, I think most parts of France were bedeviled, is that the right word, were attacked by bed bugs, in the train, people's houses, offices. Bed bugs were everywhere, right? So it can happen to anybody, if it happened in France, it can happen at the River State College of Health, right? Now, the question is not about the bed bugs. It is about the state of things, the state of infrastructure at the facility. Now, I do agree that some students have failed in their responsibility to practice proper hygiene. I go with that story. I also feel that the school management has also failed in its responsibility to have sanitation taken seriously. However, how do we let things get to this point? It means that we don't have monitors from government. We don't have, the people who are supposed to be paying visitations to these government-owned schools pay visitations. So our secondary schools are dying, our health facilities are dying, just because people who are supposed to go out there and monitor are not monitoring. And I don't want to really dwell on who the problem is or where the problem is coming from. I'm looking at it from the angle of what's the solution. How do we get these schools back to healthy conditions and stay that way as well? Anyways, I'm still struggling with the phones, so I'm just going to be reading. And this one's, and by the way, this can become a state crisis. Thinking about what happened in France, imagine this College of Health people, their clothes having bed bugs and they're seating taxes, and then they spread it to the taxes, and then another person picks it up, takes it to his home. It might cause a crisis. I'm not trying to cause a panic. I'm just telling you what it is. It might cause a state crisis and even beyond the state. Anyways, let's keep reading. This one says, NLC to President Tinubu, Nigerians are angry. Dialogue with protest leaders. What a weak speech from a weak Labour leader. Isn't he supposed to do something to champion discourse? He must be very proud of himself securing a 70,000 naira minimum wage for the impoverished workers of my beloved country. He goes on to say, well, let that day come as usual. I am sure the federal government is already putting their plan in place to sponsor a counter-protest, thereby hijacking a peaceful protest like they did during the NSAS peaceful protest. Need I remind you that a bottle of Granot is now 2,500 naira. These things won't always be like this. A change is coming. Newton from Ikire. Now this one says, if a whole school of health rooms are bedeviled with bed bugs, what are they teaching them? Another angle. PSD with that one. Another angle to the conversation. This one says bed bugs are transferable. It's not a big thing. Bed bugs can be seen everywhere now. Aminu says it's not a big thing. I wonder if you agree. This one says, good day, Mr. Kalada. In my own view, protest is not the solution to our problems. The country leaders should have a rethink. Nigerians are facing hardship every day. Bakata from Uzwa community. This one says, good day. My name is David from Port Harcourt. Every day when you present hard facts, you teach and educate many Nigerians, especially my humble self. The ugly picture of the School of Health, the hunger in the land, and the flamboyant life of our political officers points to one thing: lack of discipline. No person is punished, and when he fails to perform his or her task, the situation is painful, all right, if you say so. This one says, the truth is that government has failed us. If you observe carefully, you would see that our government, whether the one at the center or at the state level, would rather embark on a new project than maintain a dilapidated facility. The reason is that they would steal more money when they start a new project than when they carry out maintenance on existing facility. The students of these dilapidated schools should protest and call the attention of the government instead of just waiting for these heartless politicians to come fix their schools. The attitude of keeping silent when things go wrong is one of the reasons we are where we are now. Can you believe that the local government staff promotion that was done almost 6 months ago has still not been implemented, and the workers are surprisingly quiet about it? Chief Obu Owen. All right. Thank you very much, Chief. There. My goodness. Let's keep those messages pouring in since I can't seem to take calls. I can't seem to log in to take your calls. So can we just keep sending in those messages either on Facebook, on X, or on WhatsApp platforms? 081 or rather 0809 030 6416 is the number with which you can text me via WhatsApp. On Facebook, Nigerians for PH. On X, Nigerians for PH. Let's get your thoughts flowing and tell me which of these big stories piqued your interest. Remember, we have about 4 minutes to the top of the hour, and so I'd like to get your thoughts so you and I can talk. All right? I want to talk for you. Okay. This one says, which way Nigeria? For me, the government will not do anything because their children and loved ones are not in Nigeria. Woshi Bright from Rumodumaya. And this one says, I was a student of College of Health, and from when I left to this time, no improvement since 2016, this person says. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Interesting. All right. Okay, I think someone just sent me a report. I may have missed this because it broke about an hour ago. Maybe I should share with you as well. That Senator Reps member dump Labour Party ADC to join APC. Now it's going to really get interesting. It's going to get interesting in the sense that we would now get to see if these defections will mean that automatically they lose their seats. I know that's where some of you are thinking, or the person who sent me that stuff on X, that's probably what the person is thinking. I do not know, but let's see how that goes. This one says, someone said bed box is not an issue. Seriously or more? Okay, Newton Ikere, you know the rules. We don't attack people's opinions. This one says, is like Labour... it's like the Labour have run federal government. Oh, I don't get the part. Okay, are you saying play the federal government? You see, after signing the minimum wage, they are telling government that Nigerians will still protest. I mean, Labour run federal government straight. Okay, possibly. This one says, I observe that Nigerians don't like doing anything for themselves. They're always looking to the government for the least repairs and arrangement of things. Example, when my nephew, now one of Nigerian Info staff, was at King's College, I noticed that the metal beds were broken and discarded. I felt the principal should have gotten welders to repair them and used the opportunity to teach the students welding. These are students of health and they don't know how to dispel bedbugs. Irregular CI. That's another interesting angle. I mean, a lot of interesting angles to this conversation. We learn every day, I guess. I wonder who your nephew is, by the way. But this one says, good evening, Kalada. Most persons don't take their job seriously. I did my NYSC at River State University, now River State University of Science and Technology, not River State University. The man in charge of accommodations at the time, Tamuno AB, assigned me an apartment in which I refused. Okay, assigned me an apartment in which refuge. This one says, go to the Federal Government College, Port Harcourt, and see bed bugs in their numbers. My goodness. Are you serious? That's the one at Rumokoro. Okay, I tell Mata. I tell Mata to go do our investigations. But this one says, bed bug to vacate that school, not tug of war. My daughter's school, mission school, is gift for every home that the child school there. For about 2 years, my daughter finished from the school where we've been battling to eliminate bed bugs from the house, from Stan. All right, I've got to step on the break for now. When I do come back, you and I will talk some more. And this time, we'll focus on the economy. And I'd like to get your thoughts. Just stay tuned.